Okay, this is a team deathmatch on Yemen, but that's not what the focus of this particular video is about. This is a gun review on the Skorpion EVO. What can I say about the Skorpion EVO? It's a fantastic gun. It really is. A lot of power, incredibly fast fire rate, not a lot of recoil, as most of the weapons in Black Ops 2 seem not to have. Relatively small clip. I can't compare it to the other SMGs offhand because I don't know them offhand right now. This particular SMG is the fastest shooting and the highest damage, but the trade-off is that it's the one with the least amount of accuracy and range compared to the rest of them, compared to like the MP7, which is ridiculous, but I digress. This gun is flexible. Well, at least in my opinion, it's flexible. You can do a lot with it like you can with all the other submachine guns, but this one in particular, because of the high damage, you can get away with putting a silencer on it and not lose such a significant amount of damage. But I kind of prefer not to, mainly because of my playstyle with this particular gun. I love hip firing with it because it's really powerful on PC as compared to console. So I loved going around and just playing straight up GoldenEye style, classic FPS, where you just run around and it's you against someone else, and whoever has a quicker trigger finger usually is the one that's going to win. This particular gun does allow me to do that. I have a couple videos up on my channel showing how powerful this setup can actually be, assuming you don't mind dying quite a bit and just overall rushing. I mean, I think this gun is designed strictly around rushing. That's my personal opinion. I mean, it's the way I play with that particular gun. Now, whether or not you play with that gun that way or not is entirely up to you. But I seem to have not quite a bit, but pretty good success just running around with this gun, hip firing. The spread on it's actually really, really tight. Even post nerf, it's still pretty good. Now, I can safely say that you won't be disappointed with this gun ever. That this gun can and will do you right, I guess is the best way of saying it. And this video that I'm playing kind of shows the way I play with the gun primarily. But it's by no means the only way you can play with this gun. The fact that you can play with this gun this way, kind of is a testament to how good the gun actually is. Now, you try doing this with the LMG or an assault rifle, anything short of the TAR, you are not going to get very far just playing straight up hip fire. Even with the laser sight and the attachments and all the other stuff you can add to it, unfortunately, this is really the only gun you can really do it with. Well, rather, it's the one I had the most success with. You can realistically do this with any submachine gun you want, but for me, this is the one that holds a special place in my heart, because I think this is, in my opinion, probably the best SMG in Black Ops 2. Now, some people could say the Chi-Com is pretty good, the PDW is pretty good, and they're all good guns. I mean, without a doubt. I'm not a big fan of the Chi-Com because it's kind of a redundancy. Like it's an assault, it's a submachine gun, but it's also a burst fire gun, which I don't know. When you think of submachine gun, you think of something that shoots really fast, quick, but this is a burst fire weapon. It seems just odd to me. And as for the PDW, it's a good gun. I mean, I'm pretty sure that gun's probably best played aiming down the sights. For whatever reason, when I try playing it with my style, my hip fire style, it didn't seem to work quite as well as I wanted it to. It might have improved with rapid fire, but standing on its own by itself, it didn't stand out very well for me. It didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to. However, the Skorpion EVO did. Now, This gun, for the most part, is pretty consistent. Um, Now, when you put the laser sight on this, the gun kind of changes a little bit, quite a bit actually, dramatically from what you see. I mean, it seems to benefit a lot from the laser sight, probably more so than it should. Um, if I feel like when you attach it, it almost feels like a laser. Like wherever that laser is pointing, the spread on the gun, even post nerf, that's more or less where all the ammo's going. You know how like some guns have a really big spread. This one has a smaller spread compared to most with the laser sight, and it just feels like you aiming at that, whatever you're aiming at, you know, person, I don't know, sentry, guardian, whatever. You aiming at that, even when you're hip firing, you're gonna hit pretty much everything. However, the gun is far from perfect. Although I wish it was a UMP 45 from Black Ops Modern Warfare 2. That gun was amazing. Kind of reminds me of that gun a little bit with the suppressor on it, but I won't go so far as to call it that kind of gun. The problem with this gun is that when you attach rapid fire on it, it drains the clip almost instantly. All 32 shots seem to go somewhere other than the person, and only about 4 or 5 actually hit whoever you're firing at, which kind of sucks. It's to be expected though. It's like there's phantom shots being shot out somewhere. Also, at mid-range, the gun is better than most, but not quite as good as I think the MP7. And it's not as accurate as the Chi-Com, because the Chi-Com's a little bit more of a precision weapon, relatively speaking. However, to wrap everything up, my final opinion on this gun is that it is a good gun. It's a very good gun. Probably best in class. Some people might say the MP7 or the PDW might be a better gun, but it comes down to preference, I think, which is a pretty good choice actually, which is pretty good balance on Treyarch's side, because you're not pigeonholed into using one particular gun. You have your choice of 2 or 3 or even 4 different guns in the same class, and you can do reasonably well, and you would stack up pretty well against other SMG users. However, in my opinion, this is probably the best gun to use. It has a good rate of fire, good damage. If you're willing to get up close and personal, you can probably nail everyone to the wall with this gun easily. But if you really want to get a good feel for this gun, do what I would recommend playing 10 rounds with it. If you like it, set it up. If you don't like it, move on to another submachine gun. But I think after 10 rounds of using this Skorpion EVO, you will come to love this gun. Alright, that's it. I'm done. Laters.